about yourself as an artist, your journey. How has it been?
Mm, First of all, actually, it has taken me time to call myself an artist because my profession, my academic background has been in science. I have been a scientist for a long time, and yeah, and later on, this is my second career shift, you can say, and art was always there. I kept it alive throughout my childhood, even when I was working. And so the only second option that I had, if I have to make a career shift, then this was art. And I didn't choose ceramic art as such, but I loved making, building in clay and some other materials like hand building and all. And first thing that crossed my mind was, let me try clay, let me see if I like the medium. And because my background, my family background has always been full of artists, and plus my upbringing has also been like that, especially my grandmother. So when I took clay in my hand, I think it was like 100% match kind of thing. I really liked building in clay, and that's how it started. And the more I started reading about it and making things into it, I went deeper into it. So and then it offered me a lot of science as well. So then there was no looking back. So the journey has been, I would say, right from the childhood, starting with drawing paintings and everything, drawing on the sand and building castles and everything. And it has come to this point where I've become, on a journey of a ceramic artist.
So, has your childhood memories influenced your art a lot?
To a greater extent, I would say, because I cherish them a lot. People around me, not just my family, but also my neighbors, my friends. I've been brought up in a village, basically. So there have been so many people, you interact with. So your personality is developed through all these interactions. So right from a child to a 90-year-old, like my grandfathers or grandparents, friends, and all. So all their stories, communicating with them, their experiences, their teachings, and what we learned from them, plus the direct connect with the unfiltered nature around me, has largely, you can see it in my work. Basically, the stories, nature, the traditional touch, and the designs and ethnic, everything, right from rangolis and all. Like you can see some of them here, like what I used to draw, I used to do with my grandmother. And I really like making all those intricate works. If I'm taking clay in my hand, it automatically just turns out to be like that. So that plus this is one representation from my grandmother's treasure, I would say, the bedtime stories that she used to tell us, and then the morals behind it. So that is how we grew up, with a lot of morals. And as the story says, all that glitters is not gold. So she would try and explain us through the epic stories and give us some examples from them. So that is how my childhood has been. The direct stargazing that we would do on our terrace, open terrace and open land, because we had a lot of it. So I think everything is just connected with what I have been, growing up with, and it's still there in me. And every time I work, all that comes out, translates in the clay.
Are you afraid of something as an artist?
I'm not afraid of doing anything in art. I think a lot. I think tremendously before doing anything. But one thing you can say I'm afraid of is being called as an artist. Should I? Should I be? Because it is not my professionally, academically or formal education has not been in art. And the time since when I started till whatever I have done so far, I question myself. Okay, should I when people ask me, should I say that I'm an artist? And initially, so I had really that question in my mind. Should I say a scientist? For a long time, I used to say I'm a scientist. I'm a scientist. That was the only part that I have been afraid of. Otherwise, no. I like to try things, and being a scientist, experiments has always been a part of my life, basically. So, lot of experiments also do
That
go.
I think is a scientist's mind anyway.
Yeah, and that is going to be forever.
Forever.
Forever. Yeah. So it is the confluence is going to be there, science and art for me. So behind the works that we see, there is all the science that is happening, and the outcome is art.
Wow. That's nice. So, if since you said that you're afraid of that one thing that whether you should be called as an artist, one thing I would definitely say as your curator is that for sure you should be called as an artist.
Thank you.
However, I need to ask you now that what do you think art is at the first place? What is art for you, rather?
It has been an integral part of me. Not my life, I would say. It has been a part of me. Like if I see something, I will always find something appreciating about it. There are, I would agree very honestly, I mean accept that there are a lot of art that when I see, I feel why is this made? I mean, I cannot make sense out of it. Who is going to appreciate this? All these questions, they do cross my mind. Okay, but then I will still try and look the reason behind it. Okay, there should be something that the person must have. I'm not even saying an artist, but any person who is even doing a sketch or just throwing a color or making a bad rangoli or anything, maybe that we would say maybe, but why is that, what made that person do it? There must be some very concrete nice reason for that person, and that makes me feel nice about it, that he had the courage to do it irrespective of the judgments.
And so, if I have to ask you, how has been your journey since the time you started, and how do you feel now as an artist after when you see your pieces? What has been your journey, and what is your feeling now when you see? Of course, there will be times when your piece, because you put it in the kiln, so of course there are times that the outcome is not what you have expected.
Yeah.
But does that demotivate you? How has been the journey?
No, there are disappointments for sure, but as you know, even while learning, you go through that process already, that this is the fact, and that also relates so much to your life. How it always happens, like you plan something and not necessarily it happens like that. So clay is what it taught me to expect and accept both. And throughout the journey, I would say when I started learning in clay, I had my family support and my teachers. I really got very good teachers, excellent teachers. I mean, I chose them, of course, I chose them, but they have been through and through with me. Even for a smallest guidance or help, if I ask them, and they are there. So the journey has been very, very pleasant. So I never had, the struggle was there, but struggle was within me. Like what reaching to the point where what is my niche area, what signature works I want to make. Till that point, they have been with me, guiding technically and everything. Creatively, yeah, it has always been my own thoughts, my own aspirations, and what I want to put through or put out into the world. That has been my thought, but that journey has been really very pleasant, but it has been very fulfilling, very fulfilling.
Nice, Ashwini. Thank you so much for talking to us, and I wish you all the success. And I really hope, because your pieces are, for me as a curator, your pieces are not just your art. Rather, for me, it is like it has come from the clay, which is earth, right? So it's something which anchors you. I'm actually getting goosebumps. it anchors you, it anchors your soul, and it teaches you a lot of things to be humble.
Yeah.
So your pieces, that's why it is very humble. They're very soft, and even though it's actually burnt, and yet it carries that humble and the softness of the clay. So
Thank you.
it's actually, it reflects what you are as a person, because I know you now as quite a bit, because I have read your descriptions of your art, so I knew you're an emotional person. So your pieces actually show that. So thank you so much for
Thank you
talking
so
to us.
much. Thank you.